short doubleheader, obviously, coming through tonight. Congratulations both to the Bobcats organization and the Dolphins organization from fielding multiple teams from multiple different, P4 and Indy, moving forward into the playoffs. They have done phenomenal jobs org-wide. But it looks like we are going to get started here with Game 1 of this best of 7, this AAA matchup.
Yeah, this should be a good game. And finally, we're bringing it to you as well. Hopefully, this is a good series in front of us as the ball finds its way into the Bobcats, and they are in blue, Dolphins in orange. Great little passing play, but better save at the back from Edwin to keep it out, and already off to a hot start here for the Bobcats with that fantastic opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, just already the Bobcats sort of stuck in their ways. They're moving forward on offense well, but they can't get it out of that corner, and you have to start moving that out of the corner. You cannot sit in the corner and try to shoot on teams in AAA. It will never work.
They can make sure to get that offense going and not get stuck. As the Bobcats look to transition out here, pushing it into that left corner. Kept there for now. Bobcats dangerous in the middle. Icon is going to be there, wins at 50. Dolphins survive another onslaught here. Snip going to send this one down to midfield. Edwin almost getting a tip on that, sending it on net, but Bobcats back in that orange end again. Paper winning that 50 down in the middle. Nobody's there. Icon is going to win the battle at midfield. And back into this blue end we go. Edwin looking to win, gets 2 with the pop-up, and Snip, the one with the issues, finally getting them fixed with this server, and he's the first one to score. Dolphins break the 0-0 tie.
Yeah, and if you're the Bobcats and you double commit on the defense like that, I mean, it's a good play from Edwin, don't get me wrong, but one of you's got to impact that play, right? Whether it's bump Edwin hard enough he hits the ball himself, or you can get a touch on the ball. With 2 guys going up, you have to do it. And they don't, Edwin beats them both, and it's just free and clear for Snip to take that first goal. Really good momentum for the Dolphins. If they want to win tonight, I think they got to start off hot, start off strong. They have the potential. It looks like we're starting to see that here.
They do start hot, that's for sure. Defense been a little bit shaky so far. Icon and Edwin double commit on that one. The Bobcats not there to get on top of that misplay. The Dolphins seem to be more surviving on that defensive end rather than thriving. So we'll see if they can make that work for them long term as Paper goes up for that one. The pass not quite there. And the Dolphins going to move this one back out into the blue end. Going to get some offense going, and Snip going to find the bottom corner again. That's 2-0.
Yeah, cylinders, but they're beating this Bobcats team on defense and on transition. They allow this Bobcats team to move out, move to their offensive end, only let them get 1 or 2 shots on, then take it downfield really quick, force them into awkward defensive transitions, and they benefit from that consistently. So if I'm the Bobcats, right, I need to start winning my midfield. I need to control the boost. I need to start passing. We need to own this offense because now down 2, there's about half the game left to play. You need to get another goal soon. You need to get back into this one.
Getting back into it is going to be the big part here, as they try and bring it through the center, but stuck in the corner again. Z trying to pass it down. Paper can't get a clip touch on it. Edwin looking to bring it back the other way. Can't connect, though. Snip looked like he was possibly going for a bump. Back pass. Great little play there. Going to go wide on the shot from Icon. Team's leader in goals with 47 on the regular season. Not able to put that one on target. They find themselves on defense briefly. What a passing play. Icon is stonewalled at the goal line. The shot from Edwin just a little high. Too frantic in front, and Snip has his hat trick. The Dolphins offense strikes again. That's 3-0.
Yeah, just so much panic from the Bobcats on defense. They were caught flat-footed when that ball comes downfield. The second touch doesn't come through for the Dolphins, but because it doesn't, all 3 members of this Bobcats team once again throw themselves at the save. Nobody gets a touch, and it's free and clear for that 3rd goal. So Bobcats, you've got to calm down, but you can't get caught flat-footed, and they're just getting outpaced, out-momentumed all game long. You know, it's almost into the GG, let's go next territory, and especially next game, they've got to pick it up and start working together. Something that the Dolphins have done consistently this game, and it has worked in their favor, resulting in this 3-0, now almost a 4-0, but an incredible save from Spirit.
Incredible save from Spirit on the goal line there. Keeping that thing out, getting the 4th save for the Bobcats team on the 10 shots the Dolphins have had. Only 5 the other way for the Bobcats, not looking so hot on offense to start. While their chances have been good, they just have not gotten enough! Oh boy, that is not how you wanted this thing to go if you're the Dolphins. An own goal there after a whiff.
And you take those. If you're the Bobcats, you take those all day long, calculated 100%, right? And that is really bad from the Dolphins because it allows the Bobcats back in this game. With a minute left, you are still in this game only down 2, and you can tell the momentum might start to shift their way after that unfortunate Dolphins mistake.
Usually consistent on defense, but in that scenario, probably one of the worst own goals I've seen, especially in AAA. At an unfortunate time, but it breaks the 0 marker on that scoreboard for the Bobcats as they start to get back into this thing, although you could say they haven't really scored a real goal yet, which could be an issue there. 2 demos, making it a little bit of 2-on-2 Rocket League for a few seconds. As this clock ticks down to 15, you have to think this game is over, but even though it's not a shutout, do you think the 1 goal that the Bobcats have gotten is going to be enough to really see them pick up their game here coming into game number 2?
You know, I was hopeful when it got scored that the answer to that was yes, but unfortunately not. You had about a minute left, and this goal goes in, and you think all the momentum suddenly starts to shift, right? You're like, okay, we're back in this one. We got one. It's a bad own goal. But then the Bobcats do nothing with it. And so now we move towards a scenario in which the Bobcats did not score in 5 minutes of Rocket League. Every goal was scored by the Dolphins, and the Bobcats could not rally. Where you could tell the Dolphins were a little shaken. The ball got moved downfield from the Bobcats. They had some passing going on, but they couldn't sink another one. And then they just fell back into old habits. They bang it upfield and stay on defense. Bang it upfield and stay on defense. They just sort of were complacent to sit in their half. They didn't take advantage of that goal and that momentum swing, and that concerns me moving forward in the series. Now, they get a reset, right? It is a best of 7, so you get that sort of 0-0 goal reset now, but the Bobcats right now are just not doing anything to generate their own offense, and they're going to have to figure that out if they want to come back in the series.
Comeback is going to be necessary now after dropping that first game. Got to see a little life in those Cats if they are going to come through and win this series. We've had the storyline of the Dolphins being the underdog in this matchup, but so far, the Bobcats definitely looking like the worst team. This one down paper, puts it off the backboard, but it's not enough. No rebound opportunity. This one down the length of the field. Edwin going up to try and block a clear, it seemed, but just throwing his car at it. The double demo there, Icon and paper trade off. And Snip getting around 1 here, puts it up off the wall. Gonna look for Edwin midfield. Hits it with his wheels instead of the top of his car, and that one gonna end up going right to Spirit, and they'll clear it. Bobcats had an opportunity, not quite good enough. Edwin bangs this one all the way back into the blue, and Edwin not making contact again on that ball. Icon going off the backboard, not able to get a shot on that opportunity. Edwin getting that 50.
This game has looked better, right, from the Bobcats. They have moved onto offense. They're working together. They've started to take some midfield positioning. But the problem is they are now getting beat on their 1v1s. Every one-on-one situation they've had so far almost, they get beat. Another one here as Edwin will take it over the back of paper and score the first goal once again for the Dolphins.
First goal in the second game straight going the way of the Dolphins. He puts it just behind paper. Nice placement on that thing, putting it back post. I just realized I think they scored at the exact same time on the clock as they did in the last game. I think they scored with 3:38 left in the last game as well. So this is literally an exact repeat of how the last game went. Hopefully, for the Bobcats' sake, it doesn't go exactly the same way. As Paper tries to get this one center, very close. Ooh, a bit of a double commit there from Spirit and Z. They recover, though. Are they going to be able to keep the possession? It looks like they had to rotate out. Paper sends it across, but nobody's there. And this one sent back out to midfield. Spirit having to make another touch. Edwin trying to get that one center. Blocked by 2 people, though. Snip can't get there, and Edwin is going to put it in his own net yet again. In an unfortunate turn of events, the transition from the Bobcats too strong.
And the Dolphins keep with the tradition that the Bobcats are not allowed to score unless some form of the Dolphins hits it. Now, that is a huge momentum builder for these Bobcats, right? This is the time you take advantage. You have rattled the Dolphins. Now they've only goaled twice. Take it downfield and score. Get a lead. Get your first lead of the series. This is the moment in which it should be easiest on them. All the momentum should be their way. But look at them hide in net. And they just allow this play from the Dolphins to come through once again. Icon will bury it. And I'm just, why are we 2 defenders on the back wall there? If we're the Bobcats, you had all the momentum. All you had to do was win in the midfield. But again, they got beat on the 1v1s.
And that transition play is going to set the game squarely back in the hands of the Dolphins yet again. Bobcats have never held a lead in this series so far. And it'll be nice when they do. Icon sends that center for Snip. Great passing play, but that one's off the bar, unfortunately. This one's sent back out. Right back in, though, and the Dolphins keeping the offensive pressure up. Like you mentioned last game, Bobcats kind of stuck in that boom it out, but not keep possession, and the ball is ending up in their half more often than not. And when you're down like this, you can't have that.
Yeah, this is what I consider to be the problem at the beginning of the season for this Bobcats team. This is the best of AAA, right? This is what AAA has to offer on an individual level. And the Bobcats look outpaced. They look scared. They're staying on the defense. Almost every 1v1 goes the way of the Dolphins. The more experienced Edwin and Snip coming through in this one. It's just the Bobcats, this is scarily bad right now. They cannot generate much offense on their own. When they can, they get beat on transition. They need to sink their own goal, and they need to press their advantages. Like I said, they feel a little scared. They're just hanging out on defense a lot. They're finally moving on to the offense here, which I like, but nothing comes out of it. I mean, the spins are beautiful, but you ain't a ballerina, my man. You got to get it center. You got to get that shot on target.
You don't get points for dancing in the air, man. You get points by putting the ball in the back of the net, which is not something that they've been able to do as a team. Both their goals in this series being scored by the Dolphins on their own net. So effectively leading this one in goals 7-0. But in reality, it is 5-2. That one just wide. Edwin can't get the double tap to go. This game stays a 1-goal contest. Bobcats with 3 shots, Dolphins with 5. So not a whole lot more pressure. Last time we saw the Dolphins get twice as many shots as the Bobcats. Nearly the same thing here, but a lot less in that category. So better from the defense of the Bobcats, but you can play as much defense as you want. If you don't have an offense, you are not going to win this game. And with 20 seconds on the clock, they got to get that offense going.
You can tell they know that as well. They have been moving consistently downfield now, trying to get some offense generated. The problem is, yes, and this is a good opportunity, but Z just bangs it upfield to the waiting Snip defender. And this has been what they've done all series long. They barely can take it upfield on their own. They constantly hit it hard and just hope that the Dolphins are not there, and it's just not worked out. And again, we see zeros on the clock, not a single goal scored from the Bobcats themselves.
The Dolphins looking for another 3-1 victory, with the ball hitting the floor right at the goal line. The Dolphins going to take it 2-1 this time. And that's another good showing from the Dolphins. They just look like the better team right now. And something's going to have to happen on the side of the Bobcats. Some kind of mental reset here for them if they are going to come back and really compete in this series.
Yeah, there's still hope because it's a best of 7 for you to get back in this one. It's not like the next game is match point and you have all those nerves. So there's still the opportunity there. And the Bobcats slowly are coming alive. They slowly have transitioned. They've done a lot better job that game than game 1 of sort of being in the midfield. But you saw from the scoreline there, Dolphins all were about equal at 300 points. They worked together. They passed. They got involved. For the Bobcats, I mean, it was about as far apart as you could be. They have got to work as a team and lock down that midfield, something they have not done yet in this series.
See if they can get the offense working. Defense Looking like a decent defense, but the offense just not there so far. Got to get that thing churning and really make this team look like a well-oiled machine. That pass across is there, but Spirit not able to connect and put a shot on target there, and misses the follow-up touch as well. This one is back up in the center, but nobody there again. Edwin getting the touch at midfield, and the Dolphins transition back out here. They're going to have their first real offensive possession of the game, or not, as they fumble it in midfield, and the Bobcats back on offense. They've had the ball in the orange end for almost the entirety of this first minute, looking pretty good in terms of keeping the ball, but they've only created one shot in the first minute of possession that they've had.
Yeah, this is the Bobcats moment. You know, when you talk about a best-of-5 series, this is the game that, you know, we have always consistently said is the one where teams typically drop it, right? The team that is up will drop it, and that's how you prevent the sweep, and then they'll come back through and maybe win it. It's the same to me in a best-of-7. This is the game in which the Dolphins, you know, riding that 2-0 momentum might be like, I'm going to slack off a little bit, and this is the game that you can take as the Bobcats. But if they allow the Dolphins to have this one, it feels like it's all but secured for the Dolphins to win this best-of-7. So Bobcats, I like some of the different transitions, but again, they are losing their transitional gameplay. That demo, crucial, because I think LC Spirit was not going to make that save otherwise.
That was absolutely beautiful. Great positional play and a tactical demo on that attack is going to diffuse it where it started. Great save by Edwin. I don't think it's going to count as one, but that's barely getting outside of the cage there. That shot on off the post, and the Bobcats have gone now 12 minutes without scoring a single goal on the orange net, effectively.
And the Bobcats beating up them signposts like they want their lunch money. I mean, you know, this is not a team that over this series has given you many open opportunities like that, and you have got to capitalize, or else you're going home hungry.
See if they can steal some lunch money at some point. I can words, I promise. Had a good shot on, and this a lot more tame than the last couple games we've seen. Bobcats, I think, have the most shots out of the two teams for the first time in this series, almost, and looking a lot better on the offense, but they've had to play defense for quite a bit now. We'll see if they can transition out. 3 shots so far for the Dolphins. In the first couple games, they've scored in the first minute and 22 seconds. But have not been able to score in the first 3 in this game. This center looking good, but diffused for now. A whiff from Edwin. That got much closer than it should have been. Spirit with the shot. Edwin there as the backup. And a great save to keep this thing tied. This could be the turning point for the Bobcats if they're able to find a hole in this Dolphins defense for the first time this series. They can't on this play. Z with the shot icon is there with the save. Excuse me. One of the defensive backbones for this team. 70 saves in the regular season, showing his work there yet again, making a beautiful play to keep this thing tied.
Yeah, I mean, Dolphins, this is about the weakest we've seen them all series long, but the problem is the Bobcats. They had so much offensive momentum in this game and still have not capitalized. A lot of it being their own mistakes. LC Spirit at one point sets up a beautiful shot, then turns around and takes it himself, takes it from his teammate, and blows the play up. And it's like they don't trust each other in certain scenarios, and they can't break that defense. There's no demos coming out on the goal line. I mean, if this team is going to sit on defense like that and play turtle mode, you have to figure out ways to break them open. Instead, what they've done for 4 minutes of Rocket League is just throw it at the net and hope, and that obviously is not working out. Now we see the bottom 45 here. Looks like it's going to go the Dolphins' way, but another miss off a side post there for the Dolphins.
That's so close on that opportunity, and the Dolphins' 5th shot of this game. The Bobcats leading in that category, and definitely the first game that they've had any real offensive pressure. The first game they had 5 shots. Second, I believe they finished with 3 or 4. This game they got a nice little 7, but still have not been able to break through. As this remains tied into the last 15 seconds, we go effectively in overtime already. The next goal to go in going to be the one that decides it. Edwin looking for a backboard touch. Well read by Z. This one pops out middle, though. Spirit can't win it off the backboard. Icon is up and misses the touch. And we are in overtime here.
Too furious. was
Yes,
Icon there.
very much.
Had it, he could feel it in his grasp, and he didn't doubt himself. But still, in my opinion, this OT goes the way of the Dolphins. They're slowly coming alive in this game. They know they can go ahead and take this one. They're on the fast track to winning 4-0. Unless the Bobcats can pull through a miracle here, it's got to be Dolphins' game here in Game 3.
It has to be. That they've shown more prowess, really. The ferocity not there from the Bobcats. Their mascot one that is ferocious, but they haven't seen it here. Z breaks through, steals it in the corner from Edwin. Or Snip, sorry, off that touch, just beats him clean. Icon not expecting it. And 31 seconds into that overtime. 15 minutes and 31 seconds into this series, the Bobcats finally score on the Dolphins and take Game 3.
First goal, but not too late, right? This was the moment you needed this game through the Bobcats. I said, now you have a shot, right? You can ride some momentum, tie this up 2-2, go the distance. And it felt like the Bobcats, you know, I said a lot that I thought the Dolphins would take it there in the end, but the Bobcats had consistently shot that game. The problem was they had employed that fire and forget strategy of just, let me throw it downfield, let me throw it at the net and forget about it, and we'll do it again next time. And, you know, they're in the defense, and over in the OT, it ends up working because of a mistake that they finally forced out of this Dolphins team who just looked a little tired on defense, right? Snip overshot the save. He would have had it had he been able to connect, but he couldn't. He didn't have any boost, and the Bobcats are back in this one.
They very much are. And in a best of 7, Game 4, especially if you're tied 2-1, is the most pivotal game of the series. Could go 2-2, or in this case, the Dolphins could find themselves with 3 chances to move on for what we assume would be a date with the Geese in the semifinals. Icon makes his way through there. The Dolphins held scoreless at the end of that last game, and I think they've been scoreless now for almost 6.5 minutes-ish. So we'll see if they can finally find a way to break through, now up to 7.5 at that 4-minute mark. And we'll see if they can find a way through this defense that they've not been able to crack in the last at least 6 minutes.
The Dolphins have not looked good in the last game, in particular to start this game, though. This is a better look as Icon will take it downfield. They're letting some of this stuff get away from them, not quite as crisp with touches, and not winning their one-on-ones anymore. That was really going their way and deciding a lot of this game. Now, I like this here where they're working together in the midfield, starting to move back up. You can tell they feel it in this game more than they did in the last one. But now that you've given the Bobcats some life, you need to go ahead and crush that, extinguish that flame by getting some early goals.
Right now, they're only really getting possession. 2 shots for them, holding the Bobcats shotless here. In the first little bit, the fake from Edwin almost worked. And then the first minute and a half goes by. Bobcats don't have a shot on net. 3 coming in already for the Dolphins, pouring that on. But the quality not quite there, and the ball not finding the back of the net. This one going to go off the ceiling here. This one in front of the net. Edwin having to make that save, keeping this one out. Trying to force it through, but the 50 awkward there, ends up going straight to Edwin though. He gets bumped out, but the possession remains with the Dolphins. It seems like the Bobcats set themselves up for a good transition there and just never really found a way to get there. Some great support play from the Dolphins, keeping that one out. Almost halfway through this game, and Dolphins finding themselves scoreless for like 8.5 minutes now. This is a little bit unusual, and I'd love to see them break this drought.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Both teams...
Oh, no!
Oh, boy. He's going to return
well,
that
they didn't
favor.
break it.
He's going to return that favor of the 2 own goals from the Dolphins team and get one here for the Bobcats. It was a good transition downfield. Z just a little too close. And both teams sort of have slowed down by speeding up. And that may sound contrary, but let me explain, right? Both teams have sped up so much that they're forgetting to hit the ball. We see it here from Icon. We saw it some from Snip. We saw it on the other end for the Bobcats in the first 2 games. They want to speed their gameplay up. They want to just take fast Rocket League. They do not want this to be a series of slow one-on-ones anymore, which makes sense from the Bobcats' perspective. But the Dolphins are matching them, and they're outpacing themselves, and they're missing easy touches. And the moment you do that, this game becomes anyone's.
Got a good block in the midfield. Ball back in the orange half, exactly where this Bobcats team wants it to be. Temo coming out from Paper. Edwin sent back to spawn. Snip going for the pinch in the corner, gets it, but a good read in the corner. Spirit nearly getting it by. Z bangs it down. Can Spirit get a touch? He can't. And it goes wide. That would have been a very dangerous chance had he gotten it through. Great pass there down to Snip. The Dolphins going to look for their second here, trying to transition it. Spirit wins that 50, and the ball remains on that orange half paper. Going for the dribble, tries to pop it, but Snip is there. Icon waiting patiently on that backboard. Z tries to get it through, but that a very weak shot. And Snip down the other way, trying to get a dribble play going. This one just over. Spirit able to pinch that one into the corner. 1 minute left now in the possession. Bobcats coming through, bumps. Spirit shot just wide of the net. That was surely a goal, and the tying one at that. But he puts it wide. And the Dolphins get away with one there.
And the Bobcats, that's the second time they've done that, right? Open, uncontested sort of series that they just cannot get on target. We talked about how the Dolphins wouldn't give them that many. You got to clean them up. Now, 30 seconds left here in this game 4. And again, you still don't want to give this one to the Dolphins, who then would be on match point. So Bobcats, you can tell they feel the pressure. Now 20 seconds to make something happen.
15 is going to be on that clock. Center is there. Icon whiffs on the ball. This one just kind of floating center. Snip wins it past 3. The Bobcats push up too far. And that seals the deal here in the pivotal game 4. It's going to go the way of the Dolphins. And the upset has 3 chances to happen now.
Yeah. And again, this sort of came down to 1v1s. The Dolphins have consistently won almost every 1v1 situation. And if I am them going into the next game, I constantly dribble this ball. I constantly take that one-on-one challenge because the Bobcats can't beat them. They haven't been able to all series long. The one time the Bobcats tried to on a good 1v1 scenario from Paper, he couldn't win again. You know, you're forcing these sort of 1v1s, you're winning them cleanly, and because you win them so well, you saw there Z, right? Totally did not expect that ball to go by him on that 1v1 situation that had come up from Snip. It goes straight by him. He's beaten. Snip just walks it in to secure this game. If I'm the Dolphins, I just play around with the ball. We know we're better on an individual level. I take it and I take the W. Now, if I'm the Bobcats, something has got to change. We saw some sparks of it in that game 3. They had come out, they looked okay, they were banging downfield, working together, owning that midfield. But where they are going to win is to speed their pace of play up. We saw the Dolphins looked uncomfortable with that. They whiffed a lot, Snip in particular, and that's why those Bobcats are able to win. Can they pull this out here, now on match point with the Dolphins?
Match point indeed. And it's going to be match point for the Dolphins for the next 3 games as well. The upset very, very close to happening. I remember in chat, I don't know exactly who it was, but I did see someone predict 4-1 Dolphins, and I was like, nah, there's no way that happens. But we are in prime position for that to happen now. Good job, good sir, for predicting that the Dolphins were going to be very good in this series. That whiff, oh, the bounce! It hits the corner instead of the wall, completely throwing off the shooter. And that one, a great play, going to be diffused by the game itself and its physics. Not going to go the way of the Bobcats on that scenario.
That's got to be frustrating for the Bobcats. Again, they just do not, if it's unpredictable, the Bobcats won't hit it. And that's what we've seen throughout this series. They just cannot figure out how to hit unpredictable balls. That bounce, yeah, it was a bad bounce. Don't get me wrong. But you, at this level, playoff time in AAA, you should be able to predict that. And they have consistently failed to predict anything that doesn't go the way they think it should. And it is certainly beating them. Almost an opportunity there, but now on transition, once again, the Dolphins looking strong.
That's a great shot. Good save by Spirit to counter it there. Keeping this thing tied. 1.5 minutes in now. Dolphins still in prime position, have the defense scrambling. Spirit misses there, but the ball going to take a trip into the orange end ever so briefly. As that's another example of the Bobcats just banging it down, not really being able to make anything of possession. Paper Going to get it by. Beats another. This one's center, but Edwin going to take control of that one. Carry this into the corner. Great 50 as well. And just another bang there. Icon going to have possession of this ball. Takes it under one, beats two. Paper kind of fakes, but kind of not. And he's going to be able to swipe that ball away. Luckily, as the last man back. This thing's still tied halfway through. Again, great shot. Z caught flat-footed in the middle of that crease. And Dolphins going to score first, putting the Bobcats in a chokehold.
Z clearly never watched an episode of Sweet Life Zach and Cody. Didn't look at the Prindle, right? He needed to figure out how to not park in net. But this is what I'm talking about. When you let these Dolphins beat you on an individual level like they did there in the speed category, I mean, Bobcats they're lost. They just look lost. And again, a great comes out there. Now, this was an individual win of some momentum as Edwin doubles this one. 50's the defender. A great demo comes through on the back end from Icon. And we just walk it in for the Dolphins. Cruising easy. Looking for this series win here.
They are looking hungry. They are looking good. I would be worried if you're the Geese. Even though the Bobcats have not looked good per se, I would still be on the lookout for this team. Because even though these Dolphins may not be Sharks, they are looking hungry. They smell blood in the water and are out to get it here. Paper finally ties the score up between the goals the Dolphins have scored on themselves and the goals that the Bobcats have scored on the Dolphins at 2, with their second actual goal of the series, bringing this game back within 1 at an absolutely crucial moment.
Fantastic aerial play there from Paper. And the Dolphins, a little overconfident, perhaps. They gave him so much time. They're like, you know what, Paper? You do what you're going to do. We're not going to bother to challenge you. And that was a mistake. Someone as good as Paper can hit those. He does, brings his team back within this. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a ball game.
We certainly do. Edwin sends this one back center. Icon not able to get there. Paper waiting patiently on the wall, gets 50 by Snip. The bump from Spirit. He loses all momentum. Doesn't move him out of the way. It just stops him in his tracks. An odd bump, but it works out as Edwin finds the near post.
Is he a little too far in rotation? A great bump, though, like you said, slows all the momentum. It doesn't kill him, which is huge because that means there's no smoke cloud that his own offensive shooter there has to work through. So it's a fantastic touch from him. You know, unfortunate, again, sort of flat-footed is this Bobcats defense, and that's got to be crippling mentally. I mean, you just brought back within 1, and then they go, psych, never mind, and come back down and score again. So, Bobcats, you got to score soon, and you're probably out of this game.
Cats only scoring 2 goals, as the Dolphins have scored that many on themselves in this series. And both plays kind of individual efforts as well. You haven't seen any passing at all from the Bobcats, which I think is a little worrying even going forward if they manage to pull off this 3-game comeback, which is looking very unlikely in the last minute here of Game 5. If they do, you have to worry a little bit for Thursday as well, especially up against a formidable opponent in the Geese. We're talking like that series is over. It's very much not, and I could still go either way. But you have to think it's going to be the Geese there, and if that's who you're going to face, if you win this series for either team, you have to be playing at 100%.
Yeah, I mean, Flip has been known to choke in round 1s, don't get me wrong, right? Big dumpster arena of last season, but still, you would expect it to be the Geese. Even if it's not, the Owls, if they somehow pull it out against Flip and these Geese, definitely are a force to be reckoned with. This is a good opportunity, though, for the Bobcats to get back into this. Now, 21 seconds. This game is still on. It's a great pop there from Z, but now you probably want to look for this kickoff momentum to go their way.
There is 21 seconds of life possibly left in the Bobcats' entire season. Spirit putting that shot on Paper, trying to center this one, a double commit. It's still awkward off the backboard. Z tries to get another one. Spirit wins it and puts it in the back of the net. The Bobcats have come back. They tie it up. We could be going to overtime.
We could be indeed. I did some confirmation. Geese did win their game, but fantastic. The Dolphins were celebrating too soon. They had popped that champagne. They were out of here, but they forgot someone as good as Paper and someone as good as this Bobcats team can catch up at any moment. I imagine this goes to OT, but all that momentum right now on the Bobcats' way. But this is a banger downfield. Can Snip get there? He can. And OT we go, Cubics.
That closer than the Dolphins would have liked, I'll say that. As they try to end this thing and get us back on the stream schedule. Z takes this one in the corner. Good pinch out in front. Spirit takes it down. Scoring 2 goals right at the end of that game. Bobcats breathing some more life into their season, but it comes down to the next goal. They're going to have to get 3 in a row, just like this series. They're going to have to get 3. This would be the first one in a long road back for them in what in the normal season would be a reverse sweep scenario. Playing defense.
They're looking a little scared because they're slowed down. Both teams have slowed down, but all the offensive momentum going the way of the Dolphins. It's a great touch. You know, if you're the Bobcats, you've got to get them off your half, and that's a great start.
Paper looking for the center icon. Gonna get a second touch. Z is going to be there. Keeps it on the wall. There is one there. Snip whiffs. Edwin, the last man back, pops it in the center. Paper out in front. Good play by Icon to keep it in the corner. Chaos in front of the net. Spirit going to recenter, but nobody is there. Edwin looking for the pass across. Icon makes contact, puts it in the corner, and Z able to take the pressure off with the clear. He's able to get a 50 off on that one, but the ball coming back into the orange half for now as Paper loses that 50. Spirit pops it up, gonna look for a second, not gonna get it. Snip is there. This one gonna be off the backboard. Edwin can't make a touch. Paper! Edwin coming out of nowhere with the save! And the Dolphins keep their hopes alive for winning this in 5. That save, absolutely phenomenal. Almost 2 minutes in, the Bobcats fighting for their lives. This transition play downfield, Icon awkward, gonna be able to send it wide. This in the corner, Icon messes around with it for a little too long. It goes across the face of the net, but not towards the back of it. And we are still tied at 3, almost 2.5 minutes into this.
You can tell the Bobcats feel their W here. They're playing around a little too much in the corners, but overall they're winning. That's a missed touch, so that's really bad. Dolphins, they can't capitalize, but this just mistakes. You can feel the nerves from both teams. It's anybody's game right now.
It really is, and if this win goes the way of the Bobcats, you have to think they've looked so much better in this individual game that's got to breathe some life into the lungs of the Bobcats here. And what a game to go out on as well if they do end up dropping. A double commit in the corner. Z left in a 2-on-1. This one across. Snip with the shot. Z is going to be there though. Paper sends it up the wall. A double whiff there from Edwin and himself. The demo going to give Spirit a little bit of space. He misplays it. Icon wins the 50. Paper back in the corner. Spirit cutting across now. Can't get another touch. Runs out of boost. Z and Edwin both whiff again. This one centered. Edwin goes for the demo. He hits it. Nobody back in net right now. This could be very dangerous. Z stops it where it is. Spirit on the respawn. Able to get there. Z gonna pop this one up. Dolphins have had so much offense in the last minute and a half or so. The Bobcats finding themselves on the back foot, not where they want to be, especially with their lives on the line. Edwin wins that 50 out. The offense coming back into this orange zone, exactly what you want to see if you're the Bobcats right now. Gonna put that one over the bar. Paper tries to recenter, not gonna get it on the first attempt. Tosses this one up. Snip gonna be the first one up to that ball. Spirit having to 50 it back in the blue end now. Icon with a chance. Woo! That one almost an own goal there. And what a fitting way for this series to go out if that had happened to go in too.
Almost a full game of Rocket League has been played in this OT. you know, the problem right now, though, for these Dolphins, as another shot comes through, is they have owned the boost. It's not just this offensive momentum. It has been the boost has consistently been their way. The Dolphins are a team who struggles without it. They've owned it and have not been able to break this Bobcats line in net play. And like you said, for their lives, some of the best defense of the series with no boost. And so you have to start getting real creative with the Dolphins because you also don't want to get it beat on transition. That was dangerous. Huge whiffs coming out from both teams. But the Bobcats playing lights out Rocket League right now. There have been some mistakes. They're stuck on their defense, but they have not made a single mistake so far that has led to a goal in over 5 minutes of OT Rocket League.
NC scores!